So only two stories in the world like Dead Silence. Dead Silence, that was copyrighted in 2006. And Hail, that was copyrighted in 2005. And I'm going to show you right here. Let's see if you can see that.
A point I'm making is that we got into a point in society, and this is why they're kicking our ass. Because we got invaded by reptilian hybrids, the great aliens. It sounds crazy, I know, but they came and they invaded. And this is how messed up things are. You have to be a celebrity now just to get a hold of the public. So the law knows that. See, they know that. They know that they can do whatever they want to do. Because if you're not famous and rich, you're nobody. But you're not nobody. You're actually somebody. Everybody is somebody. Just because you're human and you're living proves you're somebody. You have life. Life is the best gift anyone can get. And God gave us life. And free will is the second best gift. You got life and you got free will. James Wan knowingly stole the story. It just shows you what kind of a scumbag he is. Can you imagine having to be so low you can't make your own story? You got to steal someone else's story and get the credit for it because you can't do your own thing. And if he liked the story, he could have just paid me some money and told me, here's some money, now shut up. I'm going to pretend I wrote it. But he didn't. So this is going to be this will be hanging over his head for the rest of his life. I might get a lawyer and decide to sue him. I can still go back 2 years. And there's so much proof in the story because my brother said you can't own the idea. When you put it out there, someone's going to steal it. So when he told me that, I purposely made the story crazy. I put so much weird stuff in there. I said, if someone steals this, I'm going to put so many booby traps, they're not going to get away with it. They can take the idea of the old lady ghost choking somebody, but they're not going to get the rest of it. At first, I just wanted to save the idea of an old lady ghost choking someone. I just thought that was a good idea. I actually saw that in a Stephen King movie, where an old lady ghost, and when I was a kid, it scared the shit out of me. So I decided, when I became a writer in 2005, my brother goes, you got to write a story that's like never been done before. So I said, okay. So I thought of the Stephen King movie, The Shining, where the old lady ghost chokes the character, and I just thought that was so creepy. So I go, okay, what would be her story? So I had to make a story around that character. Basically, that was the only thing I took, was just that one part. You can take ideas like that. You can't take a whole list of them. That's where James Wan went wrong. He took a whole list of them. I got the certificate to prove it's a year before he copyrighted his. His goes back 2006. Mine's 2005. There's no way in hell this is an accident. There's just too many coincidences. Even on the flashback scene, when the little boy's making fun of the old lady, she gets her hands back supernaturally. This is before she's a ghost. I explain how. He doesn't explain how, but she's able to speak with two voices at the same time, supernaturally. While the boy's making fun of her, a character named Henry witnesses this. He witnesses also that she has supernatural powers before she's a ghost. Then, in the future, 70 years later, this Henry character goes on to warn the main character about the ghost in both stories. Now, in mine, at this time, 70 years later, he becomes a ghost that runs a produce store, a store of life, food, produce, vegetables. So he's an old man ghost that runs a produce store. In the movie, they made him an old man that runs a morgue. So in mine, he's a dead old man that runs a shop of life. In the movie, he's a living old man that runs a shop of death. All James Wan did was switch it. Okay? And the things that gives it away that it's mine is that, one, what movie have you ever seen where there's a detective in a small town? In both stories, there's a detective chasing this guy around in a small town. Detectives there's normally a sheriff, not a detective. Two, that she has a theme. There's a theme that comes with her. It's a gimmick. And the gimmick is that every time she attacks, the lights go down supernaturally, slowly. They go, they don't just go off. They go, and then you know she's coming. In the movie, they did the same thing with the sound. The sound goes down. Now Now she tries to choke you, but she can't choke you unless you're scared. So she has to get you scared first, and then she materializes. In the movie, she can't cut out your tongue until you scream, so she's trying to get you to scream. Now you got the characters matching the same characters. You got Henry, the 25-year-old main character with the light brown hair. You got the old lady ghost that has the same history of kidnapping a boy and putting the child in a secret room at her house in the woods. It's just the same story. And then even the ending's the same. In the ending, I say she comes out of a shadow. She tricks the main character that she's a family member. Then the old ghost comes out of a shadow. The old lady ghost comes out of a shadow and wins. In the movie, it's the opposite. She goes backwards into a shadow. Then she tricks the main character that she's a family member. So see, it's the same thing. Mine comes out of a shadow, and in the movie at the end, she goes backwards into a shadow. He just reversed a lot of stuff. You know, if I had blue-red, he went red-blue. But James Wan is a fraud. So you know what? I'm not saying this to get any money from any of you guys out there or any. I just want you to know how corrupt the system is. And now when you see James Wan, you can say, "Oh, you're a little thief." He's a fraud. But see, society is so unmoral. Everyone's out there just doing what they want to do now that they don't really have, the moral thing doesn't matter so much anymore. He's cool. He's a thief. Yeah, that's how society is right now. It's their breakdown of society, and that's why God removed His hedge of protection off of society, because society has sunk. It's at the all-time low. We have more people on the earth than ever in history, and at the same time, the earth has never had this many sinful people that have no morals. They claim to be spiritual, but they'll sleep with anyone they can. But they're spiritual. They're spiritual without the holiness part of it. Well, James Wan, whether I can get him in this life legally to court, or whether he has to face God, he will pay the piper. I guarantee you he'll pay the piper, and he'll pay sevenfold what he did if he waits to God. If he doesn't repent until he sees God, it's going to be sevenfold. He's going to be in so much pain. He's a thief. He's a low life thief.